Hi class, welcome to our first lecture where I introduce you to the topic. Essentially, when you look at business, there are five different philosophies of what business is based on. Like for example, some people think business is based on finance. That if you're not talking about the flow of cash, that's the nature of all business. One school of thought is that all of marketing, all of business is about marketing. Because unless you can sell something, what's the point? So that's why it's considered to be one of the five pillars. The thing about marketing is it's highly strategic in nature. People confuse marketing and sales. No. They're two totally different things. And I tend to think salespeople say, well, I'm doing marketing. It's like, no, you're doing sales. Just because marketing has such a, nicer cachet and brand than sales does. But the thing about marketing is being about strategy. Strategy is about pitting your strengths against somebody else's weaknesses. When we look at marketing, the nature of it is, first of all, it's about matchmaking. And that's finding a connection between customers and sellers. Essentially, is it about pull, that people in the market just want it? Like, for example, a cure to the Zika virus? Or is it about push, that if a company just puts it out there, you'll buy it? And that's why you have so many circulars sitting at the end of your driveway. In terms of designing a marketing campaign, the thing you have to take into consideration is marketing is not just about getting the sales. It's about forming a relationship, and this relationship is for life. That I want you to continue to buy my products all throughout your life, and so you have to deliver it, and then you have to support it. So you have to think about the entire chain of events that go on. And the reason why is because you have competition. And that competition will try to steal your clients. And so you have to out-execute them. There's a lot of hand-to-hand combat in marketing. And finally, what you actually are doing are experiments. So you have an idea. So you have to go out and test it, see what works, see what doesn't work. Then you have to validate it, which means, okay, here's my proof that this actually is true and it does work. And verify means that, hey, I could do this more than once. The thing about marketing and sales is sales tends to be very short-term sighted. Essentially what you're trying to do is hurry up and get a profit. And the thing about marketing is more about getting your profit from gaining value in the eyes of the customer. And so the journey starts from contact all the way down to purchase and repurchase. And so what you see is that sales is tactical in nature. How do I go about getting you to buy this right now? Versus marketing, okay, who is it that we're going to target? How do we bring them in? How do we get them to fall in love with our product? The thing is, a large part of marketing is communication. And so when technology changes, marketing changes. It started with print ads. After the printing industry, then radio supplanted print. Then TV came along, and now it's internet, which is basically web and mobile. And so based on that, all of a sudden now we have a new kind of marketing. The thing is, viral marketing, is it new? No, there's always been viral marketing. You tell two friends, who tell two friends, who tell two friends. The problem is that in terms of communication, talking mouth to mouth, it's like, well, I have to run into them and then I have to tell them, or I have to pick up a phone and see if I really want to call them about this. The thing about the internet is it made it easy. Instead of you tell two friends, no, you're going to tell 100 friends, and then they tell their 100 friends, and so on and so forth. And so what happens is now there's always been network effects, but because of the volume and also the speed that digital marketing works at, that's why network effects all of a sudden have a humongous influence on what marketing is today. And we also live in the age of marketing, of influencer and content marketing. And what that means is we have so many options right now. How do you know which one to pick? Well, what we do is, that person is using it. I'm going to follow them. For example, if you were looking for software security and you found out what software package Bill Gates uses, you think a lot of people are going to follow him? Yes, he's an influencer. Content marketing is giving away free stuff to get something back. And a good example is you want to use a sample piece of software. And what are they getting back for you to let you use their software or read an article or something like that? They want your email address and they want your information. That's what they're trading against, giving away free stuff. Just the other day with Dr. Cho, at Krispy Kreme Donuts, they said, if you fill out this survey, you can get a free dozen donuts. I'm game. So the thing is, what this innovation in marketing does is it drives the perception of the product, how people go about valuing things, and how they communicate. The thing about marketing is what marketing used to be about is that you put a product out there, and then there's this whole mass, which is called the market, and then they buy it. And so based on what you do with your product, essentially you see what the market does. The thing about digital today is we can do two things. We can personalize. We can target each and every one of our individual customers, and we can personalize it. And so what today's marketing is about is instead of getting money out of this one big, huge, massive market, we're going to try to individualize and squeeze even more money out of each individual person and then aggregate it together. And this is the age where we're driven by data and predictive marketing as opposed to being product-based and bricks and mortar-based. Ultimately, what marketing is about choosing a value, providing a value, and communicating a value. That's product development. And so how do we go about doing that? And this is a marketing recipe. This is traditional, but it still applies. First thing we need to do is make an assessment, and those are the 5 C's. The thing is, there are other pieces of data you can bring in your assessment. But where do I get started? What do I do? And that's what frameworks are for. And when you get confused and don't know where to start, the framework said, okay, this is step 1. And then you can change it and develop it and grow beyond it the more experienced you become. So after I know what the landscape is and what the assessment of the situation is, then I need to form a strategy. I have to figure out what are my potential targets and which ones I'm going to go hit or position against. And then it's like, well, what knobs can I actually turn? What is it that I can actually do to implement to be able to attack these segments? And that's the marketing mix, which is called the 4 Ps, which has to do about place is actually distribution, price, product, and promotion. And there's physical and digital. For example, if you're talking about food, there's always a place for physical because people might want it right away, or they want to try it, or they want to look at it. The thing about physical products is sooner or later, somebody's going to want to have to get their hands on it and try it. And so that's why you still have bricks and mortar stores. But that's what marketing basically is about. It's a strategic voyage. And so now that we've gone through that, on our next lecture, we'll start to talk about values, because that's what drives people when they look at products.